Hello everybody. Okay, we're talking about Bitcoin, and what I would actually like to talk about right now, more specifically, is the fact that Bitcoin's price is going up humongous amounts, and also what I found really interesting is the price of Bitcoin and how fast it's actually gone up in conjunction with this new CME merge that's just been launched. And I've been reading quite a few stories and news reports on the CME proposal and how it's actually influencing Bitcoin's price. And I find it really interesting because I think there's a bit of controversial opinions on this matter, and also people thinking it's a good idea because that also means that Bitcoin is inevitably expanding, which, you know, apart from the Bitcoin maximalist, you don't have to be. As long as you believe in Bitcoin, you know, sorry guys, I've got a bit of a sore throat at the moment. I think it's sort of hay fever. Yeah, it's going up in price. So who is the CME group? So if you just do a little Google search, Chicago Mercantile Exchange and Chicago Board of Trade is an American financial market company operating the world's largest options and futures exchange. So in the trading world, you've got normal trading where you can just day trade. You can hold on to your blue chip funds. There's also other types of trading forms like futures, which is one type, options, warrants. They're all different types of trading options that you can actually use in big trading conglomerates around the world. So I wasn't actually aware that this is an American group, but they are big. They're actually very big in terms of institutional investors, and that's really what this week is all about. It's about the fact that Bitcoin is on a bit of a surge, and it has been, and that's probably more linked in with the CME announcement of the launch of the futures for digital currency. I also believe that there's been an announcement with Argentina's futures exchange that's going to be added to that. But as you can see, CME announced Tuesday plans to launch Bitcoin futures in the fourth quarter, which is pretty much at the end of the year. So we're currently in November now. By December, it looks like it's going to go through. It even says in this article that US Commodity Futures Trading Commission and full application process will go through. We've been working with the regulator. So it seems pretty promising. And quote here from Terry Duffer, the CME Group Chairman and CEO, said in his statement, "Given increasing client interest in the evolving cryptocurrency markets, we have decided to introduce a Bitcoin futures contract. The leading global exchange for options and futures trading is the latest entrant into the business of offering derivatives for Bitcoin, the volatile digital currency which is not listed on a major exchange." So that's pretty big information, I would actually say. And yeah, so it was announced in November, which is what we just started in now. Happy birthday to anyone, by the way, who's born in November. So happy birthday to you. I always believe in saying happy birthday. Celebratory anything is very important. And then we've got another comment saying that Tom Lee said his call for Bitcoin to top 20,000 to 2022 is based on expectations that Bitcoin derivatives products will launch. So really right there is a lot of information connected to the fact that institutional investors are now opening the doors to the expansion, or I should say the start of the expansion, because we're pretty much on the brink. We're kind of brinking, and then we're kind of not brinking, but then we're brinking again, and then we've just gone over. So it's almost like Bitcoin is like in this little, it's kind of like it's building momentum in the spot, and then it moves a bit, and then it kind of pulls back a bit, and then it moves a bit forward. But I think this is probably what is going to be pushing Bitcoin and giving it a lot more momentum into into the mass adoption stage and more expansion in the future, and building on the coin market cap even further, and all these other great things that Bitcoin, you know, has, what it holds for itself in the near future and in time to come. Also, in saying that, you know, there's so in this article, I love these little pictures, aren't they really cute? Look at this. I reckon these pictures are good. Whoever the editor is who actually does these pictures, credit to you. I think it's really, really good. Okay, so we got the stampede here, and this article, Bitcoin exchanges, Coinbase adds 100,000 users in 24 hours, shows surging interest in crypto. So it says in this article here, the launch of Bitcoin futures by CME, again, is expected to bring, hang on, I'll highlight it, a divulge of institutional money into Bitcoin. Individual investors seem to be stampeding towards Bitcoin exchanges, trying to get their hands on Bitcoins before institutional investors make it out of reach. According to data compiled by Alistair Millen, I think, of the Altana Digital Currency Fund, over 100,000 new users have joined Coinbase in 24 hours since the CME announcement. Okay, that's pretty big. The exploding Bitcoin price has resulted in a sharp increase in the number of users of Coinbase, which has already doubled in 2017 to reach 11.9 million users. Okay, so I've also received some additional information that there has been, in the past week, roughly around 600,000 new Bitcoin wallets have been created, and especially the last few two or 3 days, there's been 166,000 and then 130,000 wallets that have been created only the past few days. So that is massive. That and you know, there's even information here that's been circulating around that, yeah, in the past week, there's been a massive influx of new Bitcoin holders, and Coinbase are one of them. So yeah, so there we go. So the Bitcoin bulls are getting more bullish, and the bulls are back. So any guys who are on the bear side and you kind of think that we're not really in a bull market and the bears are going to kind of come in and do something to the bulls, I don't think so. I think we're on a bit of a nice bull run, and I think the bulls is picked up some nice good health for the end of this year, it looks like it. And then we've also got this one comment here, and I think it actually reflects the fact that Bitcoin is actually being more and more utilized, especially with the big new highlight that's actually happened, especially with CME. So this Ronnie Moas is very bullish on Bitcoin, and his price prediction into around 2018 is around 11,000 mark. I think he mentions here about the link between CME, it could be here somewhere, and then also with Apple, that's also been a bit of a link of news with Bitcoin, that if the company has the highest market capitalization and whose value is reaching record levels each day, Ronnie believes that Bitcoin will overtake Apple in just 5 years. So it seems to be going pretty good, and I really like this. I just think it's rad. It's really, really good what's happening. The only thing is, the whole thing with CME Group is that they're institutional investors, and to me, that could be a fantastic thing because it is driving the price up. But also, when any new big guns and big guys come in through the doors, it could also be a sign that perhaps they could have some market manipulation in the future, which is typically what happens with any company that holds, you know, power, and you know, who just want control, because really that's what Bitcoin is. Everyone wants a piece of Bitcoin and they want to control it somehow. So institutional investors, I think it's actually a really great thing because it's giving it more exposure, and it's also, you know, it's kind of marketing for Bitcoin. I can also see the point that perhaps there could be some maybe issues down the track with what will happen if there is going to be issues with, you know, market manipulation for Bitcoin with institutional investors. But anyway, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you have a good morning and evening. Make sure you take care of yourself. Please drink a lot of water. I say that to everyone. you know, for these Bitcoin fanatics out there, and I'm kind of sort of one of them, I forget to drink water, keep up your liquids. You know, it can get a bit headachy. This is a very fast industry, so you've also got to keep up being good to yourself as well. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.